Hi,
Hello.
and welcome to another old school versus new school. And this week, because we wanted to do a spooktacular,
Yes, it's October.
not really, but at the time
It's
of
October.
yep. Ooh,
Pretend with me, Lance.
sorry. Because we wanted to do something spooky noochies, we chose Child's Play. So we are comparing the old school Child's Play, which I believe was 88.
I think you're correct.
Yeah, I think it's 88.
If I was paying attention, I would have done that ahead of time.
Well, I remember.
Yes, 88 versus 2019.
Right. So, yeah, the 88, 2019. We did not do Child's Play 2 or Cult of Chucky or any of that other stuff.
So we're only comparing how the original Child's Play stands up versus the new one.
That's right.
So set aside your love for Chucky as he evolved later on in the series and just think of how he was in the first one.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that we do like Bride of Chucky because I love Jennifer Tilly and she does the bride's voice. I don't know what her name would be, but I love Jennifer Tilly's voice.
Yeah, I don't remember what her name is off the top of my head.
Tiffany?
It sounds right.
Sure, let's go with Tiffany. So, anyways, as in normal format.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm searching for it. And I wrote Chili's. Am I hungry?
Chili's Play.
I want my baby. Sorry. In normal format, we're going to basically give you our scores.
Yeah,
And the way
up front and ahead of time.
is that way you can just be like, okay, well, I'm tired of watching these losers, and you have our scores, and you can go watch them, or not. And then we're going to go straight into spoilers after we give our scores for both movies.
Yes.
So you've been warned.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. Nick,
Yes.
if you were to give Child's Play 1988 a rating of 0 to 10, what would you give it?
So I waffled for a bit on this one, and I think I've eventually settled on a 7
For the original.
for the original.
Okay. In normal fashion, I was one off.
I was waffling between a 6 and a 7.
All right. Well, I mean, not bad.
Yep.
Not
I
bad.
mean, it's some of these numbers are just kind of like,
Yeah.
It's like a 6.7, and I'm like, no, I'll call it a 7.
Okay. Yeah, we agreed that we would not do the points.
Yeah, but no points or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of like just round up to the next one. This is one I generously rounded up.
Got it. Okay. So if you would not have generously ended up, I would have fucking gotten it. But
Yeah,
no.
if I did the absolute value, you'd have been fine.
All right. Well.
What would you give the 1988 Child's Play?
I would give it. I'd give it a 7.
Look at that.
So I also realized that I probably hand out a lot of 7s.
I think I hand out a lot between 5 and 7 as well.
Well, so we'll get into it after we do
yeah,
our scores for. So Nick, the 2019 Child's Play, 0 to 10. What would you give it?
I think this one, again, I was waffling. I ended up settling on a 6.
A 6?
Yeah, but this is one where I was waffling between 5 and 6. I'm like, 6. I think there's enough stuff in it that I kind of like.
Okay.
That I think I'm happy with the 6. Wow.
We'll get we'll get into that. I'm not going to discuss that right now. We'll get into that when we get into the spoiler talk.
Yes.
Okay.
What would you give the 2019 one?
I would give it a 3.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to be happy with it, but I didn't think you were going to be like unhappy with it.
Yeah. So here we go.
Yes.
See ya. And now welcome back. All right. So, first, let me open up this foray with saying I got a new appreciation for Child's Play when we rewatched it.
Yeah, I mean it's. I guess I remembered it being because I'd only seen the Child's Play movies like last year, and I guess I remember the first one being not quite as well put together, but it was good. And one of the things I remembered was like Alex Vincent, little Andy, being a shitty actor. Like he wasn't as bad as on rewatch. He's not good, but he's also 6.
Well, so the one part when he's like in the institute, and he's like, Chucky's coming to get me.
He's gonna kill me.
He's gonna kill me, and like him crying. I believed that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like everything before that, where he was like, Chucky told me that blah, and it was just like it's typical child actor stuff.
Yeah. He's a child actor, and he was 6, and he wasn't amazing, but he was good in some parts, and he was better than I remembered going back into it.
Yeah.
Which is good. But really, it's not like Andy's movie. It's more of the mom's movie.
Yeah. Well, it's all about her feeling like she's losing her mind because she's stuck in a state of my kid's lying, things are happening, but surely my kid's not the killer. Because it certainly seems like it's shaping up to be that for all the adults.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what I really dug about this movie is that on rewatch, the animation, the animatronics, and the practical effects in this movie, for that time, is fucking good.
That's pretty good.
Like, Chucky's face was very expressive. His name is...
Charles Lee Ray or Brad Dourif.
So, Brad Dourif.
Yeah.
Like, that dude, he fucking killed,
He's really good.
like, voice acting that. And I've seen him in a handful of other things. I think he was, Wormtongue?
Yeah, Grimo Wormtongue.
Yeah, like he's like everything he's in, he gives it everything he's got. And since he wasn't on camera for like 90% of the movie,
Yeah.
like everything he did through his voice, like he really like emoted very well.
Oh yeah, Chucky is like an iconic character for a reason, and it's Brad Dourif's voice.
Yeah. So, but like what really impressed me was how they built the tension in the beginning of the movie. You went from basically a first-person point of view in the beginning, which kind of made you wonder, is it the doll?
Yeah, I think that's what I like about this movie. Is I guess you get the little beginning part with Charles Lee Ray like summoning the lightning thing, which kind of gives it away.
Right.
But if you ignore like that little bit, it could be Andy. He could be doing all this shit, and it's not until maybe midway through that Chucky reveals himself.
And like I'm impressed that they held back that long, you know, before they showed what happened. But like the thing that really kind of got me was I knew it was like an animatronic, you know, like they built like the puppet or whatever. But like I'm still kind of confused on like the scene where like the kid is in the institute and like he covered himself up, and you watch Chucky walk across the room, crawl up on the bed.
That's a person in a suit.
Is it a person in a suit? So
There's a they I mean it's a little person in a suit, but then they build a bigger set.
was that what it was? Okay, because like that person was moving,
Yeah.
like a cat. Because like the way it hopped up on the bed, the way the person hopped up on the bed, the way it sat down on the kid.
Yeah.
Like,
They use a mixture of like people in suits, like puppetry, and then like animatronics in the face.
so I was trying to find in the casting list who that would have been.
I think I saw it in the trivia section because I tend to flip through the trivia section after I'm done watching the movie on IMDb, and that's where it kind of talked about it. But also I mean you can kind of see like that's a person moving in a suit. There's no animatronic like in '88. There's no animatronics moving that smoothly.
Yeah, because like
But
maybe it's Hunter Marks,
I don't know if
Chucky uncredited,
I
but
mean, that could be.
But anyways, like that impressed me.
Yeah.
The blending of the practical effects and it was just so good. Like it was so well done, especially for '88.
Yeah.
You knew that when they made this movie, someone was just like, okay, killer doll. Okay, fuck. Here's fucking I don't know. Here's $50,000. Or however much it was, and like that movie. Like when I watched it when I was younger, I was like, okay, killer doll. And then when I watched it today, I was like literally paying attention to like the movements and everything, how it was moving, the facial expressions, whether when Chucky was talking with like Brad Dourif, like delivering lines, whether the mouth like matched kind of what it was saying. And it all looked great.
So Brad Dourif recorded all of his lines, and then they matched the mouth movements to the recorded lines.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense because like they were hitting. Like they were all hitting for like somebody for a thing that was like a puppet that was moving. And like I also watched like a behind the scenes where like there's a dude that had like a rig where the mouth like this thing was underneath his chin, and every time he would talk,
It would
and
move
Chucky's mouth would talk too. And I thought that was really neat. And I was wondering if Brad Dourif was actually wearing that rig and like doing the lines and was making the jaw move at the same time. So
From what I read, he wasn't really on set.
so easiest paycheck he ever made then.
No, well, I mean, I don't know if he came back for other ones, but for this one, he was not. I think he acted stuff out and stuff like that, so that they had an idea of what to do with it. But he wasn't not like actively on set.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, he put his work in for it. I know he's Chucky through all of them. I just don't
Right.
I just don't know how active he is on set through them, or is it all like pre-production for him?
so apparently he wasn't in the 1972 version of Child's Play.
Well, because I don't think it's about Chucky.
Not at all. No. But anyways, we'll come back to Child's Play 1, or original, 1988.
Yeah.
Now let's talk a little bit about Child's Play 2019.
So I don't necessarily mind this movie because I mean well, I guess one of the things we complain about with remakes is like it's just the same fucking movie again. This is not at all the same movie except for the fact that it is Murderer's Doll. That's it. You got a kid named Andy and a doll named Chucky, but I
So-
mean it's different. So usually we're like, fucking they Nightmare on Elm Street. This is just the same fucking movie. It's different, and then it's still not good. So I think stop remaking shit.
Or at least they tried to do something different with
Yes,
this one.
I do appreciate that.
And that's where it got the 3 points for me. But everything else was dog shit to me. The way the doll looked,
Yeah,
I hated it.
it definitely seemed like he was made to look like an animatronic toy.
But I mean, even this movie was made in
2019.
2019, when Child's Play was a knockoff of the My Buddy dolls back in the day, and even the My Buddy dolls looked better than the doll they had in this.
Yeah, it just looks creepy. Like just as a toy, it looks creepy.
I mean, the face, like, talk about Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
Talk about watching this thing the entire time and the mouth movements that it was doing. It was so. I don't know if they did it intentionally to make it off-putting, but it was just like, I hated watching it talk. I hated it. And like, I thought that it was a rather interesting idea.
I mean, it's AI goes crazy, and it's the AI is connected to all of your smart devices in the cloud, and it can learn anything and all that kind of shit. So it's an interesting idea, and I think if you made this not Child's Play, it was just like some other thing. It was called like the My Buddy doll or something like that.
It would have been it would have been decent,
It would have been fine,
but
but
because
it would have gotten the IP money.
that's true, and that's probably why they did it. Is probably someone was like, oh, so let's do a movie about like smart devices basically going crazy and killing you. Okay, can we put a doll that can control it in there? Sure, let's do that. Can we call it Child's Play? That is not the first Child's Play. We're not doing Child's Play over again, are we? Okay, so we'll change it up a little bit so maybe people will be like, because I mean I thought that was a brilliant idea.
It's got the idea has merit. I just think it seems like a money grab.
It was
Which
poor
I-
execution.
Yeah, which I think this is a money grab because the Child's Play series is another one of those interesting horror movies. One where the first one is owned by one company and the rest of them are owned by a different company. So if the original company wants to make a Child's Play sequel, they can't because a different company owns it. So they come up with a new intellectual property. Or they come up with a new property, but they keep the name because they own the name and they paid for that name, so they're going to use it.
So they have to change it a little bit.
But then you're not going to get Brad Dourif again because he's doing Chucky already.
True.
So you can't have that, and you can't connect it to the other one. So you just reboot it.
It's so bad. It was so fucking bad. So I'll just kick off a little bit. So, we're gonna do a little game.
Okay.
All right. And I probably should have warned you a little bit about this before we started doing it, but I think this is more fun.
Okay.
So, the game we're gonna do is called Pros and Cons, and we're gonna start with you like this movie a little bit more than I did,
I think it's okay.
and I liked the original a little bit more than you did. So,
No, we both liked the original Sevens. I think.
So we're both gonna say a pro about the movies. You're gonna say a pro about the new one, and I'll say a pro about the new one. Then we'll say or you'll say a pro about the new one. I'll say a pro about the old one, and then we'll say a con, and so forth.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll start. Pro of the old one. Chris Sarandon is in it as the detective. I fucking love that man. I think he's a super underrated actor. I had forgotten that he was in this movie, and when he showed up on screen, I was like, it's fucking. I was
Humperdinck.
yeah, it's Humperdinck or it's fucking. Why am I blanking on his name? God damn it, Jerry Dandridge from fucking Fright Night. I think Chris Sarandon's he's a national treasure and should have gotten way more work than he did. So.
Let's see now. You put me on the spot, and I don't remember names because I liked the cop that was in the Child's Play one, and I thought he was pretty cool.
The new one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you think the old cop is cool, Chris Sarandon? I think the new cop is pretty cool. I liked his character. That like when he's walking through the hallway and Andy is sitting there, and he goes over and just kind of like talk. Because you're a cop, you see a kid sitting in the hallway, you imagine parents fighting or some shit like that. You want to try to connect to the kid, and I liked him. What the fuck is he? Does he have a picture?
He's down, further down.
Is he?
Yep.
See this? He was.
There he is, right there. You just passed him.
Oh, Brian Tyree Henry.
Mm-hmm.
He was good. So that's right, Detective Mike. I liked him.
Well, so he's more of the funny cop.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's more of the personable cop.
Yes.
And I liked his relationship with the kid. I did like some of the back and forth banner. And he was
I also like when he's walking down and all the other kids are like piggy or whatever, and he's just kind of
fucking kids. Yeah. Yeah, he's funny, but like he's always. I think he's been good in almost every movie I've seen him in so far. So, great actor. Khan of the old movies, the old movie. I did not like the other cop, like the backup cop.
Yeah, he was kind of
because he plays
he was kind of a tool.
Yeah, he's the jerkwad.
Yeah.
The normal like what Chris Sarandon was like, go in there, but do not touch the doll, and then he comes back with the head. Yeah, like
or even just like after they originally met the mother. What's her name? Catherine is, or is that different movie? And then he comes back out like, what the fuck was her problem? Well, how about her best friend just fucking got murdered out a window?
Yeah. That dude was just ugh.
Yeah.
All right.
So Khan for the new one would be the fucking animatronic is kind of creepy.
The mouth was horrible.
Yeah.
Like the way that thing talked, it looked fucking horrible.
It just didn't like the old one is the old puppet's dope. And I don't think the new one is. It's just kind of like it's whatever. It's fine.
Well, I mean, where'd the money go?
Oh, I mean, they look expensive. Because I mean, how like done up the hand one, like if everything like fucking moved. It looked like you could have controlled that thing with a controller, but it makes it look like a toy. And I don't know, Chucky's like a little doll, but then he's just get up and fucking running around, and you hear the little feet like. And that's more fun. This one wasn't running fucking anywhere.
Yeah, no, it was just kind of chilling. But then again, I guess you don't have to run when you can just control fucking everything around you.
Yeah.
So, so now I'll switch and say
a pro.
I'll say a con for the new movies.
Okay.
It should have been a movie that I would have really enjoyed. I love Aubrey Plaza. Mm-hmm. I really like Brian Tyree Henry. I loved Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
I thought this movie was going to be a slam fucking dunk. And it was bad, Nick. It was really bad. Like, the entire time I was watching that movie, I was just like, every single time Chucky was on camera, I don't know, like, it felt super tropey to me. Was it Factory in Vietnam?
Yeah, that's not a great opening or whatever.
Yeah, like a guy that's overworked in Vietnam is building a doll, and he's being probably underpaid and overworked. So his revenge to get back at his boss.
Well, he gets fired. They're like, you're slacking again. You're fired.
Yeah,
finish this one and then get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, okay. I don't know if it's just an honor thing there or if it's just a pride thing, but it's like he actually finished the doll.
But wrong.
Yeah, turned off all the safeguards and everything, but actually finished the doll and then threw himself off the fucking building.
Yeah.
Like, That was so fucking dumb.
Yeah, it was pretty dumb.
Like, if it would have been me, if I'd been making that movie and a guy was like, hey, you're useless. Finish that doll. You're fired. Get out of here. You would have seen a scene of the dolls going by, and then one doll was just a bunch of fucking random parts sticking up.
Glued together.
Yeah, I just poured that bitch in the box and walked the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
But, like, that opening, bad. The whole thing about him being all glitchy, but, like, you know, trying to learn what was going on around him, it was bad. Mm-hmm. Him doing the little catchphrases that people were giving him and everything, bad. The voice acting, I'm sorry, Mark Hamill, I fucking love you. It was bad. Like, there was not much for me to like in this movie.
Well, they're trying to make him sound robotic or whatever, which is, you get a robotic performance.
And then at the end of the movie, you get the whole him, like, delivering, like, catchy little fucking phrases that he learned, and he's doing it in super creepy voice. You know, like, it was, he wasn't even doing the glitch thing anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, so did he fucking upgrade his OS? I mean, I don't, like, I didn't get it. Like, I didn't understand all that thing. And then, like, the jealousy streak, dolls can't feel fucking jealousy. Like, that to me is crazy.
You don't know what an AI can feel.
I guess, but, like, I thought having Mark Hamill as the voice would have been, like, super, super creepy. The other thing that pissed me off, and I know I'm just laying all the cons out on the floor right now. I know.
It's apparently this game's done, and you're just ranting about the movie.
I'm just, some of this stuff was just balled up inside me all day. And then, like, so I watched this a little bit this morning, and then I had to come home and finish it at home. So, like, I remembered as I was starting it up on the TV, I was just like, there was something inside me before you walked in, because I tried watching it a little earlier, where I was just like, you know what? I just won't watch the end of this movie. I just won't waste this 45 minutes of my life, and I'll riff through it. But you know what?
I'm not gonna let you riff through it.
Well, I was just wanting to see if you'd notice. Like, I just I really felt like at the beginning I just been like, I did not like this movie. It was bad. There was some bad voice acting. The fucking animation looked bad, and then it was bad. And then just if you'd been like, okay, apparently he doesn't like it, and just like let it go. But like, because I wanted to do it some justice and see if it just got better. Like, they had Aubrey Plaza. They fucking wasted her in this movie. Like, her character was wasted.
They definitely didn't follow her like they did the mother in the other one. But that was kind of like they switched the focus, because in the other one, Andy's 6 years old. They swap to the mother, trying to find out, like, oh, all these people think my kid's doing these murders. I'm going to try to find out why that's not the case.
Right.
In this one, it's more of like the kid's 14 or something like that. So you can follow the kid. And then Aubrey Plaza kind of takes like a back seat.
It's just so bad. I mean, I understand, and this is me just pulling at threads, but I understand if you took a doll, like, why are there, like, safeguards in the programming that you could just turn down to be like, go from, like, super cuddly, can't hurt you and can't cuss, to like, oh, just murder bot setting.
Well, so it was supposed to be an AI thing that could learn, and you're supposed to get it as a thing, and you're supposed to teach it things, and it's supposed to adapt to the way you are. But they put the safeguards in, so it doesn't learn like, hey, go stab my cat. It's not going to learn like, you're not going to get that creepy kid that's telling this thing to do things, and it's just going to be like, I'm just going to start stabbing shit.
Why is the murder the first place that all AI always goes to?
That's what people are afraid of with AI.
I mean, are we just basically putting our fears out there in movie form?
We expect, like, fuck, we would murder us, so they're going to murder us.
Yeah. So here's the other thing about it, is that, did you watch all the way through the credits?
Yeah, I think I did.
So at the very end of it, they have Mark Hamill doing the, you are my buddy, you're my best friend. And the only thing I could think of was, and if I'm remembering it correctly, so one of the Batman games on the Xbox is, at the end of it, you have the Joker singing a song. I think it might be like, we'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when. I'm not sure if it's that one. But like, it's Mark Hamill doing the, we'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when. And like, when he started doing that in Child's Play, it was like, are they going for the same feel? Because it was like creepy when the Joker was doing it at the end of that game, and then he's doing it at the end of this movie, and I was like, are they going for that feel? And then, like, if they are, this is not creepy.
It's new Chucky is not creepy like old Chucky was.
No, it's just
because the old one was like, I don't know. I don't think you're ever going to match up to out of like crazy AI versus serial killer that wants to take your son's body.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess that's what I'm. I guess I'm. That's what I'm just the most disappointed about was that everything, everything is on the network these days. Everything is controlled by Bluetooth or wireless. Like you have a company that they were like heavily fucking like touching their nose and nodding and winking at you. They're basically Apple. And it just felt like they wasted it.
Well, I mean, all of his kills were essentially that for the most part.
Right.
He connected to some sort of device to murder everybody.
But
It's like and then like near the end, once they were wounded, then he got to stabbing.
yeah,
Like the what was his name, Sean or whatever. Like he messed with the ladder and made him break his legs, but then he used the cloud to make that little plow move and like cut his face up.
yeah. Was that a plow made by the thing, that company?
I think it's just I don't know if it's made by the company or if it's just on a cloud.
I don't know.
I didn't pay
A
that.
fucking yard tiller you would not think would have a Wi-Fi connection.
No, it wouldn't. But you also wouldn't think you'd make a super advanced AI and be like, "Nah, child's toy."
Yeah, well, like the other thing that bothered me was like, okay, I'm going to turn off all the safeguards on this particular toy. So this is the only one that's like that. And then when they released the Buddy 2, then he like took over all of them and you had like these little werewolf Chuckies like running around biting people and shit like that. Wouldn't they have the safeguards in place?
I don't know if it's. I don't know.
Threads. I know I'm going for threads. I know. But it's like literally, I guess it was just if a movie gets me in the wrong place. It's kind of like when you go to meet someone for the first time. And then the very first thing they say is something that's really stupid and ignorant that comes out of their mouth. And you're just like, fuck this person. And it doesn't matter how fucking eloquent and great they are after that. Your mind is just like basically you put them in the fuck you box.
Yeah, and and they stay in the fuck you box.
Yeah, it's like this that first impression, and like I guess just right out of the box, I did not like this movie.
Yeah, the beginning was bad, but I think some of the kills in it were kind of fun. I like that he got slaughtered, like his upstairs like chunked up, and then he just got stabbed, and then he put the face on a watermelon in his room. Like, look, I fucking killed the man.
See, that made me laugh, and then they play it for laughs after that, where it's like, oh, let's walk down the hall and give it to like that felt very disjointed to
It
me.
did, but it's kind of amusing. I like the way that kill happened. I like the kill with the buzzsaw and the fat man.
So that was probably one of my favorite ones of the movie.
Yeah.
For the fact of apparently you can control the temperature of the water coming through the thing from the thermostat. It was a thermostat that was controlling the water temperature that was coming through a pipe, but that's neither here nor there.
So as you've lived in the South a long time, like some places have oil. Like the house up in Maine, you have to actually have someone come and put oil in it so that you can heat your house. So your house has a basement with just a gigantic canister full of oil.
So the house that I had before we moved into this one, I had a big oil thing behind the house.
Even in South Carolina? Mm-hmm. Oh, in Maine, they're in the basement.
Well, it's all depending what kind of heat you have in the air in the thing, and like that one was like an oil burning one.
Yeah.
Natural gas, but
So I think they would actually you're sending hot air through pipes. So him putting the temperature up is.
I guess it's just
I mean, it's not going to do it that fast, but I mean,
right.
But
Like,
also, I mean, it's a movie.
well, I mean, it's an Apple product, so naturally it can move things from like 73 degrees to like 180 in like 14 seconds.
It's a movie. You need to move the fuck on.
Sure. But like the thing I did like about it was that the table saw's going underneath him as he's holding onto the pipe, and what I really in my mind as he's dangling over it and like his one hand came down, I said it would be a master stroke of storytelling if like his foot just kicked the saw and his foot kicked the saw, and I was like, okay, that was pretty good. Like there were little things the movie did, like him falling down on it on the crotch.
Yeah, you only like lots of Legos.
Yeah,
That's cool.
super predictable. But when the leg rolled off, I was kind of like, okay. Like there was some good imaginative kills in the beginning. The fucking drones with razor blade fucking
Yeah, it's all silly.
Blades. That was a bit much.
But I mean, the knife in the mascot's neck, and then he comes stumbling up. People are like, "Hey, it's Buddy," and then he pulls the thing off and sprays blood on the kid. That's kind of funny.
It was amusing, yes, but it's like are you playing it for laughs or is it a horror movie? Like, it kept me so discombobulated where it was like, I don't know if I should be amused by this movie or just insulted. Like, and again, I think it's the fact that I started off on the wrong foot with the movie.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, I can go back and watch it again, and I still won't like it.
Probably not.
Because the way his mouth moved when he talked, it did not look good. If you can make Chucky of old look as well as he did, like what I saw in that movie just looked fucking lazy.
They needed to and do more than just animatronics. They needed the mixture of a person running around in a suit to make it look like Chucky was threatening.
And they never did that.
Because the only reason why this Chucky was threatening is because you can control shit.
Yeah.
So if you were off that grid, that Chucky's not anything. It's gonna
Yeah.
walk into your thing and I'm going to control your. Like, oh shit! You don't have any electronics in your house. Like, hey, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah, I just felt like it was a wasted opportunity. I feel like somebody got something, they put an idea out there that people were like, this sounds good. Because I mean, honestly, when I heard about it originally, I was like, this sounds like this could be a really good movie. Aubrey Plaza. Fucking like it. She's fucking great in everything I've seen her in. She was okay in this movie, but I just feel like they wasted her. And like the end when they kill Chucky, everyone got their shot on it, and like
Yeah.
their snappy little line, like, dude, to me that's just bad movie making. It's just bad. It's lazy and it's bad. I probably should have given this movie a 2 because like I'm getting more upset as I'm like talking about it.
I don't think this movie's not too bad.
Well, it's just the lines are shit. Like something like whatever the one kid that inherited Chucky after they threw it away, and he was like giving it stupid lines.
Yeah, it's like your name's Chode.
Yeah, your name's Chode, and stab it, and be like, this is for Tupac.
Yeah.
And then like the fucking thing was like stabbing something. He's like, this is for Tupac, and I was like, okay, it's lazy. It's lazy fucking writing. And then when you have someone like Mark Hamill voicing it, like, I feel like he was wasted too. Like, I love the fact that the original movie was like, hi, I'm Chucky, wanna play? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it went to fucking Brad Dourif, you know,
Good.
like there was super contrast between what it was as a doll, what it was acting as when it was a doll, and then what it was when it was him.
But you're also missing like the scenes where she's like, talk to me, damn it. And it's like, I'm Chucky, you want to play? And she's like, okay, whatever. And she goes and gets the box and like is moving it, and then the batteries fall out.
Yeah.
So then she goes and checks somebody's got no batteries in them. And she's like, what the fuck are you up to? He's like, you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
It's like the switch.
You stupid bitch. Yeah, like, but see, that to me,
That's good.
it was awesome.
That's good.
Because you already know what's going on.
Yeah.
The batteries fall out, and like literally, in some horror movies, the batteries would have fell out, and you would have been like, fuck, are the batteries in it? But you as the audience watching it to that point, you already like, there's no fucking batteries in that thing, and you're watching her slowly walk up the thing. It's like, oh fuck, what's it gonna do to her?
Well, so you also kind of expect like the batteries to fall out and her to look up and him not to be there or whatever. But
And they didn't do that.
But he's fucking waiting. He's like, he doesn't necessarily know that he's been had yet.
Yeah.
And it's not until she like flips him over, sees the no batteries, and he's like, fuck it.
Yeah, and then even then he doesn't start off with like stupid bitch, like he did the wanna play, and then like he does this fucking masterful Chucky combat roll when he hits the ground. Every single time he hit the ground, he does that roll.
Yep.
But then like what I expected them to do was he rolls underneath the couch. And then she'd do the look underneath the couch and he's not there. And then when she pulls her head back up, he's on the cushion like, brah! They didn't do that.
Nope. He's right there. And she pulls him out.
He's right there. And the logical mind in that situation would be like, okay, well, you know, it's still there. I mean, apparently it's just a doll and it's all in my mind until like he basically starts trying to choke her the fuck out.
And then he fucking bites her.
Yeah, but like everything as far as Chucky in that movie, it was great. Mm-hmm. When they burnt him at the end, he looked fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He came back for his couple of moments of
Oh yeah, Chucky always comes back.
Oh yeah, but like I didn't feel that same menace in this movie.
Yeah, for the 2019, not really.
And then
There was some stuff I think was neat, and there's a couple ideas I think are neat. I think calling it Child's Play was bad. If you would switch some shit up and just made it a different IP, it could have been an okay movie. And also the beginning part, like fucking, that's shit. Like the reason why the doll goes crazy is because the guy's like, safety protocols off, and that's it. Like, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, I'll get you. I'll turn all the safety protocols off. Dude in fucking Vietnam is still making his fucking paychecks pumping out those fucking dolls.
Yeah.
You didn't get back at anybody.
No.
You know, like it was just bad.
Yeah, it should have been like a lightning strike or something like that. I think the old school one, you're not gonna like nowadays pull out it's a voodoo curse. It's like, that's silly. The reasoning is silly. The him having an ability to change bodies is fine. It's just the like, oh, I learned voodoo from this guy and now I can change bodies. Like that's dumb.
Well,
But the ability to magically change bodies doesn't bother me. It's just like I guess the reason for it is kind of silly.
so the thing that also got me with that is when he shows something, he's like, "Hey man, it's stuck in a body. How do I get it?" And he's like, "You have to take the body of the person that you exposed yourself to first." And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to be 6 years old again." And then that guy's like, "You're an abomination. You should be put down." And it's kind of like, you taught him this.
Yeah.
Did you not know the depths of what you could do with this?
Yeah, it's fucking Charles Lee Ray the Strangler or whatever he was called.
Yeah. I like what you do. Mm-hmm. I like how you strangle. So, just in case you almost get caught, let me show you how to get
Here's
into
the
another.
parade of Dabala to change bodies.
Hey,
It's like, why'd you change bodies with the doll? It's like, what the fuck was I gonna do, buddy?
The premise is horrible, and I guarantee it was like a dude sitting around like, all right,
Fucking voodoo curse.
what do you think about a doll that runs around and kills people? And like the other dude's like, why is it killing people? And he's like, I don't know, fucking.
Have you seen a My Body doll? They're creepy.
Yeah, I mean, what if we had that thing running around murdering people? Well, why would it be doing that? Voodoo.
It's like, yeah, fucking print it.
Yeah. Can you come up with something better than that? No. Like, yeah, it's a bit ridiculous, but at the same time, it's still.
I like the end result. I just don't like the setup.
Yeah.
Whereas in like the new one, I don't like the end result. I don't like the setup either.
So I don't know. Like, I remember watching the Child's Play movies when I was little, and I was like, it's Murdery Doll, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I'm watching it, like, literally watching everything as far as the animations, the movements, even the acting. Like, the acting was good in this movie. I really wanted the fucking doll to murder her boss.
Yeah.
That dude was a super fucking dickhead, and he had murder bait written all over him. Mm-hmm. But I really wanted to see that. Of course, we didn't get that. I just so much opportunity. Like, there was so much to work with the 2019 one, but I just feel like they got the wrong writer. Like, I feel like they piled a lot of talent around this movie, and it just, the story fell flat.
I think there is some good stuff in it, but overall it's not great.
Well, you and I argued about the Uncanny Valley stuff before. Mm-hmm. That doll is like the pinnacle of Uncanny Valley.
It's Uncanny Valley, but also, I mean, it's not like. So I think one of the things with the Uncanny Valley is it's meant to look. This is supposed to look very human-like, but it doesn't quite get there. Like, we're doing CGI of a person, and then you look at the CGI and I'm like, that's a creepy fucking thing. It's a doll. It's not. It's going to be off.
Yeah, but there's nothing about it that's appealing.
No,
like,
not really.
even the My Buddy dolls back in the day, they're not creepy.
They didn't have moving faces like that.
Well, I mean, the mouth moved.
Yeah, but they didn't have moving faces.
Right, but the mouth moved, and I don't know if the head moved or not. I think it was during like the Teddy Ruxpin like phase.
Yeah,
when...
I don't remember.
Well, no, I don't think the My Buddy dolls talked. I think it was just a doll, and I think it didn't have a moving mouth. I think it could be like, "You're my buddy" and stuff like that. But I don't think the mouth.
Was it like a pull cord, maybe?
I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this.
I don't think I had one.
I'm confusing Teddy Ruxpin, where you'd like put the tape
Put
in
the
the back.
cassette in. That was Teddy Ruxpin.
But I can't remember. But I remember the my buddy, wherever I go, he goes. Like that. I knew that was like a stuffed doll.
Yeah.
But I gotta feel like they might have talked, but is that like the Mandela effect that?
I don't. Oh, again, I never had one. I think you're just mixing it up with a bunch of other dolls.
I never had one either. But like, all I'm saying is that when you looked at My Buddy,
It wasn't creepy.
They weren't creepy.
Yeah.
You looked at Chucky, he wasn't creepy until he had lighter burned face and shit.
Until he's Charles.
Yeah. And then this one, it starts off fucking creepy, and then it ends up fucking creepier.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just I gotta feel like the person who was just like, here's a butt ton of money, go out and get some talent and get me some good animators.
It definitely seems like the reason this movie exists is because they own the IP, and they're like, man, we've got this fucking IP, let's make a movie.
I am so glad I didn't spend money on this movie. Like I'm really happy I didn't contribute to this one, because maybe it'll die, because they definitely left an opening for a second movie.
Yeah, say I wouldn't. If they put out another one, I'd probably watch it. It's not what I want though. No. I'm more happy that they're continuing Chucky, because he's got a series, right? And they're doing a second season.
I've heard that. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what the deal is with it, but I have heard there's a show.
Chucky.
Well, yeah,
I've seen 2 episodes of it, because I think it's on Sci-Fi, and kind of like what they did with Resident Alien, they put the first 2 episodes free on YouTube. So I'm like, oh, cool. And then they didn't put the 3rd episode on. They're like, nee. I'm like, God damn it. And I've just not gone back to purchase it to watch it. But at this point in time, I've seen all the Child's Play movies. The Seed of Chucky, the Bride of Chucky, the Curse of Chucky, and the Cult of Chucky, and the first 2 episodes of Chucky the series.
That's a lot of Chucky, yo.
Yep. And I think the second movie is my favorite. But Curse of Chucky is also pretty damn good, too.
So that's one of the movies?
Yep. And Curse of Chucky actually stars Brad Dourif's daughter.
Really? Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. I'm looking at Brad Dourif's... so there's Jennifer Tilly. Mm-hmm. So... that she would be in Curse.
Yes.
But I still don't know.
I think she might be in Curse. She's in Cult of Chucky. She might be in Curse of Chucky. I don't remember that one, if she was in that one.
I don't remember, but anyways,
I think with the old Child's Play, you're getting a character in Chucky, and even in the first movie he comes through. And the new one, you're not really getting a character of Chucky. He's just kind of like he's developing his personality over the course of the movie, and he ends up being kind of murderous.
Well, it's jealous. He's jealous.
Yeah.
But like for some reason, since I'm your best friend and I can't have you, it does that old trope. If I can't have you, no one can.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I thought the movie did well is those couple of kills.
There's a couple kills I like.
But like the one part I did like was at the end where like the kid was in the house and he was like, "Peekaboo, I see you," and like it's doing the whole what the first movie did really well about like Chucky running around. You'd hear like the behind you, and you'd see like the person in the background run by really fast, and the character was like, like when he was doing that, where he was like sending his voice around through the different things. And then I liked when the kid had the app on the phone, so you could see through the eyes, and it did the look underneath the couch, and you could see his shoes, and he was just like, it's right fucking there, and then he wasn't. Like, I thought that part was adequately creepy. But,
I also liked that he was talking to him through his hearing aid.
Yeah, but like, is like that company like the Walmart of companies at this point? I think it's just
more of like Bluetooth.
Well, it said that the thing can connect to other brand names devices.
Yep. But I think it's also just like you can get headphones.
Anything that connects
and connect it to your thing because it's Bluetooth.
Okay, sure. Let's go with that.
I don't think it's all that company, but I mean, even if it is, I don't think it's that big a deal. It's whatever. You got your mega brand corporation. If you can have Weyland-Yutani, why can't you have Carnath or whatever it was called?
So the one thing that I'll say that's bad about the original movies is that you have the guy that gets into the body of the doll.
Yep.
And then the first time someone's not looking, you just fuck right off the Idaho.
Yeah.
You just go. But like that didn't happen. He kept hanging around for some reason. And I guess it was easier to move around as a kid with a kid instead of like, running around as a doll and stuff like that. But like when he killed the aunt, there was that point before she died where she went where there was a chair at the door so he could reach the deadbolt. But I guess he couldn't get out. And then there was a whole time of when she died to when people came home.
Why didn't he dip?
Yeah, why didn't you just fucking dip? Why'd you go back after you killed the partner?
Well, I guess that makes you... Why is he a serial killer? Because he enjoys it.
Yeah. And then, but like the other thing was, is like, I don't know. If I was a 6-year-old kid, okay, I'll go you one better. If I was a 6-year-old kid and I had a doll that was like, your daddy sent me to you so he could be with you. And if you fucking tell anybody that
I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna fucking kill you and all your parents and all your friends, I'd be like, wait right there. And I'd go in the other room and be like, can I borrow your gun?
I'm gonna be fucking back.
Or just throw it out the fucking window or something.
You heard me, motherfucker.
But I also like that the movie had the balls of, he thought he couldn't be hurt. And then he got shot.
Oh yeah, that fucking hurt.
And then he was like, that fucking hurt. I really liked that. Like, just, I did not realize I would enjoy the first movie as much as I did.
Yeah, and the longer he's a doll, the more human he gets. Continues to come up like all the time, and ends up getting like you fuck with a doll and like all this gross meat shit's coming out of him, and it's kind of like gross and meaty, and it's fun.
Well,
and I like that more than the AI thing.
Well, the face, like I really liked it when he got burnt. How he looked, like it was just the teeth coming through the charred like face. Like that shit was fucking. That shit was creepy to me.
He's also got that iconic. I think it's from Bride of Chucky when he gets all the scars on his face.
So that's what happens is that he gets burnt and then he's just kind of like scrub off all the black. Let me put some stitches down here, right here.
Well, I think he ends up getting like in a different one or gets remade in a different way. He gets like reborn several times. And I think when he's finally in Bride, he gets stitched back together. Hence why he's got the stitch marks on him.
Got it.
And that's like the main Chucky is the stitch one.
Got it. Well, all I know is that they completely killed that doll and they left no real room for a part 2 at the end of the original one. It does the freeze frame on the kid and that's about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how I don't remember how he comes back in the second one. I don't remember if like they're studying it and they start putting it back together and he comes right back to life. Because at the end of the second one, he gets fucking melted, and he still comes back for a third one.
So I have a question for you. In the original Child's Play,
yep,
they do the voodoo thing, and he goes to his voodoo guy, and he's like, "So you told me how to do this, but like, how do I do it?" And he's like, "Oh, you have to do the kid." And then when he was like, "You're an abomination, you should die," and he's like, "Oh, you shouldn't show your customers where your stashes of." Why would you make a voodoo doll of yourself? Like, why is that a
That's
thing?
silly.
It was fucking stupid, is what it was. And he's like, "Oh, let me break the leg," and the guy's like, "Ah!" And it's like, if you know voodoo works, and you make a voodoo doll of yourself,
Yeah, don't. That's
like,
fucking
why?
stupid.
Like,
I think it goes along with the fucking white people being like, voodoo dolls and voodoo curses and all this other stupid shit, and they're just gonna go crazy with it.
so if you're 12 and under, walk away for a second. So, the only reason I would think that you would build a voodoo doll of yourself,
Oh, okay.
so you
yeah,
could,
no, I get it.
so you could Dutch rudder yourself, like literally, you're just making your doll go, and you're just sitting there going, ha ha ha, you know, like that. It doesn't make any sense. There's no other reason I could think of, or like you have an itchy back and you grab the thing and you're just like, oh, that's it right there. It's like you can scratch your own back, you know, like, but like that part was so bad to me.
Yeah, it's not very good.
But like it still made me laugh though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's still Brad Dourif being silly.
yeah, but I've got nothing more to say.
No,
about
I
these
think
movies.
we can like in this one. I think the original Child's Play is the clear winner.
Well, I mean, didn't
But
you?
I don't think the new one is as bad as you do.
Well, didn't you?
I
Rate,
don't hate it. It's a
didn't you
6.
rate the new movie higher than the old movie?
No, I gave the new one a 7, and this the new one was one I was waffling between 5 and 6. And I think there's enough kind of neat stuff in it. Like, it's a whatever movie,
I think.
but I think there's enough stuff in it that's kind of neat.
I think you just really like Aubrey Plaza, and you gave it extra points for that.
That's one of the things in the movie that's neat.
She is great, but I mean, honestly, I just felt like they wasted her.
I like Aubrey Plaza. I like Detective Mike. I thought Andy was good. I like the kid, the actor. He was good. I thought he was better than Alex Vincent, but again, this kid was like 14. Vincent was like Alex was like fucking 6.
What 14-year-old are you getting a fucking My Buddy doll for?
Yeah, I thought that's one of the wonky things. You age up the kid so that you can like follow the kid, but
Yeah.
then you give him a little doll.
It was bad.
It's weird.
If you're the writer of that movie, you're bad, and you should feel bad.
So I think some of the kills were neat. The Doris in the car one, it's not that great. The stabbing the mascot in the neck and him pulling it off and blood spraying everywhere. I think that's funny.
That was stupid.
I think it's funny.
Honestly, as big as the head was, I was waiting for the guy to be like, okay, and put the head on. You see like Chucky like on the side of the mask, like, He was like in the mask already, and then like jumping down on his head instead of the guy going. And right before it closed off the neck, the knife's like real quick. I thought that was a bit much.
No, I think it's funny. I like him connecting to Wi-Fi and sending shit. I think is interesting. Him being like, here's fucking a picture of a dude's face on a watermelon. I think there's neat stuff in it, and I think there's some shitty stuff in it.
It was just bad. It was just bad. It was bad. Like, the entire time I was watching that movie, I literally, honest to God, I was like, when am I going to have time? It was very important for me to get the movie done before you came over, so we could just go straight into the other movie.
Yeah.
But I did not get that opportunity, and I was just rolling around my head like, can I fake it? Can I just fake it through? I have to watch this movie. Don't bother with the fucking remake. It's
No,
just,
I don't. I would ultimately, I would say like there's enough other Child's Play movies. Go through the other ones. I mean, and we've also gone through like and said before like don't listen to what critics say. I mean, make up your own mind.
well, yeah. I mean,
I think it's better than he does, but it's still not great. It's fine, and there's some stuff in it that's okay. And if what we've said about some of the stuff that I think is okay, you're kind of like meh, then don't bother.
did you see that?
I saw that it began with what it began with. I think for the critics anyway.
So, what do you think the critics gave it?
I think I saw it. It said 63.
Yes. All right. So, do you think that the audience was higher or lower than that?
Higher?
Higher? So what do you think the audience gave it?
82.
Really?
Sure.
No, 57. So it was just underneath Fresh because I think 60%.
Oh,
is...
that's the original one.
Oh shit! Okay. No, I'm sorry. I'm.
Okay.
Yeah. So the remake.
The remake was 50. They're close-ish.
So yes. So they apparently.
Like the critics have it just barely above Fresh, and the audience has it just barely below Fresh.
Yeah, and then it's 71% with the audience or with the critics, and 63%. So
I mean, the audience score is 6 points higher than for the new one or for the old one versus the new one, which I don't. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, it's.
I rounded it up to a 6. It could be a 5. It's fine.
Just don't. Like, it's just bad. But like Nick said, don't take our word for it because what the fuck do we know?
Yeah. Although we definitely agree that the old one's better.
Yes, and we both agree that Aubrey Plaza is just an underrated fucking gem of a human being. Now I won't even say actress. I'll just say human being. Because the one thing I've noticed, she's been consistent across the board. You know, if you meet her, she's probably gonna be kind of goofy.
Yeah.
But like extremely charming. Aubrey Plaza, please come find me and meet me. I'd like to say hi.
I'm gonna have to make you watch Safety Not Guaranteed because that's another movie that she stars in.
Well, I mean,
I've got one coming up.
that's true.
Maybe that would be it. We'll find out. So, join us next week for Does It Suck? I don't think we've got that movie quite planned out 100% yet, but
I think we had some.
we've got suggestions, but we just need to like buckle up and pick one.
Hey guys, if you got a second,
No,
why not?
We've already picked it by the time you're watching this, but put it down anyway.
Go down to the comments section.
I didn't want to disappoint them by the fact that we're not gonna. It will have been recorded already by the time they go into the comments, but that doesn't mean you can't go down and tell us more vampire movies like that you want ahead, so we can put those higher up on the.
The what?
Tell us vampires movies they want to see, so we can put them higher up on the checklist.
I thought you said Joanna Head.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm
Do you want to
tired.
head down?
Got it.
Do you want to head down to the comments and give us some vampire movies?
Say 2:00.
Yeah, it's about 2:00.
I'm getting tired. All right, so Nick, is there anything else you'd like to say about Child's Play?
No, we're wrapping up.
Yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, I feel like we've said everything we can about the movie. There are some things that I would like to say more about the original movie because there's a lot of funny points in that movie.
This movie's good.
That should not be funny, but they're still fucking hilarious.
It's anything with slasher movie is going to be kind of funny.
Yeah, like the original with Brad Dourif is really good. That dude is fucking amazing actor, super underrated as well.
And I think that's why Chucky works. I think if you had someone different as Chucky, it might not work.
He's just so over the top.
And it's exactly what it needs. It needs to be that kind of fucking. She picks up the doll and he fucking, you fucking bitch, and goes fucking crazy.
Like
Yeah.
one of my favorite parts of the original movie is when she had him trapped in the fucking fireplace and he's just going.
That's right.
That was so good. He was losing his shit, and the entire time I was sitting there laughing.
Yeah, it's great.
But okay, wow.
Join us next week for Does It Suck?
And the movie we're probably going to do is